Okay, cool. Question though, can we like we talk about that? How is it? I remember you mentioned something about vulnerability and how it's like men should not be vulnerable. So, all right. So the funny thing is, if I've done when I've done therapy or counseling sessions with women, as a man, I see certain things where I'm being vulnerable, and I'm like, yeah, I need to have a male therapist because she's not getting this, and you know what I mean. Like, no matter what, it's like a universal like of attraction, and so what is it that causes that where vulnerability in men like women say they like it because I'm gonna tell you the story at my first like love, it was my best friend. We're friends for a while, and then like we're friends for 10 years actually, and then like it became more, and we started having sex, we started dating, and then she was like, yo, I really wish you'd be more vulnerable with me. I have no problems with you being vulnerable with me. So this is like this is one of the few girls I genuinely loved. So I'm like, you know what, you're right, I'm gonna be more vulnerable with you. The next week she was fucking somebody.
Of course, of course,
She was
because
fucking
because
somebody else.
because you becoming more vulnerable, it increased the comfort level, but it decreased the attraction. And she's not even aware of that.
She's
Again,
not,
I
she
said
wasn't
this
aware
before.
of it.
Yeah, often when you do what a woman asks, she will punish you for it. Because what's happened in the
1,000,000%.
in the indication? No, again, hey, stop rolling over on me on bed, or stop farting in bed. That's not what I'm talking about. Those are legitimate things that a woman may want you to stop doing. But when a woman's like, I need you to be more vulnerable, become more vulnerable, and you're not going to have a woman here very, very long. Because when you do specifically what they say, remember, they're giving you this advice because they want to feel better, not because they're trying to make you more attractive or trying to increase the potency of the relationship. That's not why they're telling you that. And so that's one of the things that it just becomes very apparent. And something that I've learned is like when I as a guy, I've become frustrated with my partner and be like, okay, I'll just do everything that she wants. And as soon as I do it, the relationship's over very quickly. Because here's the other thing. If she's recommending we do a thing and I do it, who's leading now?
Her, she is.
Okay, one more time, male and female therapists who may be hearing this. You know as well as I do. I know your doctrine may not allow you to teach this, but you know it to be true. Relationships work better when men lead, not when men boss women around. That is not what I'm talking about. But when you're in a situation where a man is not allowed to be masculine, and one of the masculine traits is that he leads in a relationship. When you do not allow a man to lead, women lose respect for him, and they eventually break up. That's how we get to a 56 divorce rate. Now, I know there's going to be people coping and like, no, that's not true, and egalitarian society and feminism. The reality of the situation is relationships work better when two things are going on. Number one, a woman needs to be slightly more into the guy than the other way around. It's just a fact because women get more attention from men than vice versa. So so men don't have a leverage point if the man's more into the woman. And number two, a man needs to be able to lead. And I don't care if it's 51-49, but he has to be able to lead. If you don't allow him to lead, women, especially very attractive women, are going to walk all over him. This whole partnership thing where it's like 50-50, it's fine to say that shit, but in the end, when the house is on fire, honey, get the fucking kids and we have to go. There's no time to argue with me, honey. Stop the arguing. I'm a man. I'm leading. Let's go. If she's the one who's like, honey, wake the fuck up. Look, I'm going to grab the kids and save the kids and get out of here. As soon as she gets out of the fucking house after she saved the kids instead of her husband, she will divorce him. Yes, she will. Deny it all you want. Go ahead and tell me I'm wrong. But you know deep down what I'm saying is true, no matter how offensive it comes off. That is the reality that we live in.
All right. Okay, so back to the therapy thing I wanted to ask, because what happens if, all right, so, as I've been saying about my dad being sick, and I've visited a lot of like nursing homes and stuff, and there's men there that used to be performance but can no longer perform, as in they can barely even walk, some of them. And like, so it's been like a very waking up thing for me of seeing men like in past their prime not able to perform and still having to say that this person has value. You know what I mean? So the question I have is, what if the person can no longer perform? How do you deal with that?
Yeah, you can. The performance is just a different performance. The performance is that of guidance. The performance, like it's like the elder. The elder has an ability to perform. That's why the elders are more revered individuals in like ancient tribal communities. Is because they have knowledge to pass on and wisdom. They can't lift like they could before. Eventually, the hunter retires and he becomes, a lot of times the leader of the community was a former hunter who just can't hunt anymore. He just doesn't have the physical ability to do it. He's older. But we still, because as Homo sapiens, because we pass down information from older generations to younger, we pass down information. The internet was invented before a lot of the kids using the internet were alive, right? Because we have the ability to speak, to write things down, and to pass down information. People who are older and have more experience in general should be respected more. Now, of course, we don't do that. A lot of times younger people are like, I know better. And that has to do with hormones and hubris and a lack of experience. But as I've gotten older, I realized it's funny. When I was younger, I didn't respect people who were older than me. As I've gotten older, I respect people who are even older than me. If I could sit down, you know how much I would pay just be able to sit down with Ray Dalio and fucking Warren Buffett and like guys who are like a lot older than me, who are out there just fucking killing it in business. Wayne Huizenga, I believe he's passed away, but like guys like that, you know how much I would love to sit down and just pick their brain about business, how much they could teach me. Of course I would do that. Jerry Jones in 2 seconds, fucking Mark Cuban. These guys are in their 60s, 70s, 80s years old. I have more, as I've gotten older, I have more respect for people who are older than me. So that's how I would say what your performances still contribute to your expertise.
Okay. I see. Yes, because some therapists were making the argument that the idea of it being only a performance coach dehumanizes men. That was the argument that
No. The world dehumanizes men. Go watch videos of World War I and World War II. The world, go look at sweatshops all over the world. The world dehumanizes men. Stephen, we are the disposable gender. We are the one who runs into the burning building, and we are the one who protects our country from invasion. The world dehumanizes men. The world makes men into a currency makes men expendable. The performance coach prepares you for the world. It does not dehumanize you. That is where they get that wrong. Play this clip for them. I'd be willing to talk to any of them. But it is not me who dehumanizes them. It is me who rehumanizes them and reminds them that their ultimate human apex goal is to accomplish goals with other men and women. Accomplishing goals in teams and groups, that is the apex of the human existence, along with having children, along with having a family. So the dehumanization of humans, that is done by warlords. That is done by famine. That is done by pestilence. That's done by crime. That's done by unjustly locking people up in prison for things that they didn't do or crimes that shouldn't even be crimes. That is the dehumanization of men, not the performance coach.